This video will show you how to construct a perpendicular line from a point on a line using our Desmos geometry tool. What that means is we're going to construct a line that's perpendicular to our given line AB, and that new line is going to go through point C. So our first step is to create a circle with its center at point C and a radius of any size. So to do that, we'll go into our Construct tab and choose our Circle tool. We will select the center of our circle, which we want at point C, and then we will drag our mouse out to set the radius. So let's go ahead and set it right around there. Step 2 says we need to place 2 points, one at each place where the circle intersects the line, and we'll label them D and E. So I have one right here already, and I will go to my Point tool and plot the other one there. Remember to label points. We will go ahead and choose our Select tool, our arrow, and click on that point that we want to label. So there's point D, and we'll click on this next one, click on our label, point E. We'll click Cancel to return to the rest of our tools. Now I've got D and E labeled. Step 3 says we will create a circle with center D and a radius that's more than half of DE. So our circle will be centered at D and the radius will go along more than halfway between D and E. So we'll select our Circle tool, click point D to set the center, and we'll drag our mouse across to create the radius. So let's put that right there. For step 4, we'll use the segment tool to draw the radius of the circle, and that's going to be used in step 5. So we will go ahead and use our segment tool, and we'll click on point D, and then you can click any point on the outside of the circle to draw the radius. I'll click the point that I already made here along that line, so we don't have too many lines on our diagram. Now for step 5, we're going to use the compass tool to duplicate that circle that we just made, but this time with center E. So remember, our compass tool is in the More tools. We'll click our compass. Remember, we choose our segment, our radius first, and that radius is going to be the radius, the segment that we just created in step 4. So we'll click that segment right there. And then we need to choose our center, which we want at point E. So we'll click our center E. And there is our second circle. Remember, we'll click our back button to return to our tools. Now for step 6, we'll place 2 points, one at each place where the circles from steps 3 and 5 intersect, so those 2 most recent circles. We'll click our Point tool right here and find those intersection points. We've got one right there and one right down there. Now for step 7, we will create a line between those 2 points that we just created. So our Line tool right down here, and then we'll click on those 2 points to set our line. All right, and that line that we just created is the line that's perpendicular to our original line AB, and that line goes through point C.